The sky above Los Angeles was once again consumed by an apocalyptic canvas of orange and gray. Smoke twisted like a monstrous serpent, devouring everything in its path. The January 2025 wildfires, ignited by record-breaking drought and fierce Santa Ana winds, swept through the region with terrifying speed. The Palisades and Eaton fires, among the most devastating, forced thousands to flee as flames engulfed homes and historical landmarks. The air crackled with heat, embers swirled like fireflies in the suffocating wind, and sirens screamed through the chaos. Phones buzzed with frantic evacuation orders, but for many there was no time to think, only to run. Among them was Maria Velasquez, her pulse hammering in her ears as she grabbed essentials for her two young children. "Mommy, what about Mr. Whiskers?" her daughter sobbed, clutching their cat. Maria hesitated only a moment before scooping up the terrified animal. "We won't leave anyone behind, Mija," she reassured, though fear gnawed at the edges of her voice. She pushed through the growing crowd, the acrid smoke stinging her eyes as she searched for an escape route. Across town, Captain Eric Lawson tightened his helmet strap, his soot-covered face set with grim determination. His team of firefighters was running on fumes, their bodies battered from days of battling the unrelenting blaze. "The winds are shifting," he warned his crew. "We have to hold this line, or the fire will jump the freeway." He cast a glance toward the distance, knowing that failure meant destruction beyond comprehension. He barked orders into his radio, directing water drops and reinforcing containment lines, but with resources stretched thin, it felt like an unwinnable battle. Despite their efforts, the fire raged uncontrollably. The prolonged drought had left vegetation dry as tinder, making it nearly impossible to slow the spread. Strong Santa Ana winds fanned the flames, pushing them unpredictably through hills and neighborhoods. Firefighters were stretched thin, resources strained, and containment lines repeatedly breached. It was a perfect storm of conditions that turned a manageable disaster into an unstoppable catastrophe. Reports of destroyed homes flooded in, entire communities reduced to nothing but smoldering rubble. At a makeshift shelter in a school gym, Daniel Nguyen coordinated volunteers distributing water, blankets, and information. He had lost his own home in a previous fire, yet here he was, ensuring others had a place to turn. "We need more supplies at the East Wing," he called, his voice steady despite the exhaustion in his eyes. The community rallied together, strangers helping strangers, bound by the shared nightmare unfolding outside. Families huddled together on cots, the fear of losing everything weighing heavily on their faces. The fire reached its peak in the dead of night, threatening iconic landmarks like the Griffith Observatory and the Getty Center. Captain Lawson and his crew fought desperately to keep the flames at bay, their hoses spewing torrents of water against the fiery onslaught. Meanwhile, residents formed bucket brigades to help where they could. It was a battle of will, a testament to human endurance against nature's fury. Helicopters roared overhead, dropping fire retardant in a desperate bid to slow the spread, but the flames refused to yield. By dawn, the fire had finally begun to recede, leaving behind a charred landscape. Homes were lost, memories reduced to ash, but hope remained. Volunteers sifted through the wreckage, helping those who had lost everything. Maria, now safe with her children, embraced a neighbor she barely knew the day before. "Well rebuilt," she whispered, as much to herself as to those around her. Across the city, firefighters rested against their trucks, faces streaked with soot and sweat, exhausted but relieved that the worst had passed. As firefighters removed their helmets, faces streaked with soot and sweat, they were met with applause from the gathered crowd. Tears mixed with gratitude. Captain Lawson exhaled deeply, exhaustion settling in. "We did what we could," he murmured, knowing the fight was far from over. The scars of this wildfire would remain, a reminder of nature's fury and the resilience it demanded. The 2025 Los Angeles wildfires were a painful reminder of the increasing frequency and severity of climate-driven disasters. Yet in their wake, they revealed something greater, the unbreakable human spirit. Amidst loss, there was unity. Amidst destruction, there was determination. And in the heart of the ashes, resilience burned brighter than ever. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to bring powerful stories to life.